and let's be honest, defensive weather. Well, Northwestern will kick off to get the hat game going in the snow here in 2025. And the Illini get it first. And shy the 20-yard line is where Illinois will start tonight with Khalil Valentine on the return.
Set a record in that company. You're doing pretty well, and it's going to be a blustery one tonight.
I'm looking for win number 22 of his career, and as you might expect, in the central part of the state. But the quarterback and the running back from warm weather states, and Altmaier is on target. The weather all throughout the country today. They had a lightning delay in Fort Worth. On the ground with Valentine, and he meets Mac Uline, and Josh Fussell comes in to help him out. Shy of the sticks, bring it up third down. Well, split backs for Altmaier on the third and short, and a little inside give, and they've got enough for the first down.
As they line up right now.
Just one throw on this first drive. Here comes the second, and a wide open Dixon behind the Northwestern defense. The snow, they hit a 35-yard gainer to Dixon on that one. And Najee Story and a herd of Wildcats. Even the play callers in this game have said, we can't fill out our play sheet because of the conditions. We just don't know what we're going to have in the bag. Here's Kaden Feagin at 255 pounds. That's who Kaden Feagin reminded of him with that size. Little pitch for Valentine. He's met by Uline, and then Bruss comes to finish him off.
The offensive players know where they're going. The defensive players have to react.
Hank Beatty motions out. Altmaier the opposite direction, and it's knocked down incomplete on a fourth down.
It feels like temperature. That would have been feels like a 52-yarder.
Yeah, wind chill on field goals tonight. Exactly right. So Preston Stone and Joseph Hyman onto the field for the first time, and Hyman in a loss at Wisconsin a week ago tonight. And it is back-to-back runs for Hyman, who slips through there, and he's slammed down by Dylan Rosiak.
Robbie Preckle.
He has made the transition to running back, but you're right, he has made the change. And over the middle, Stone with his first completion, and to a true tight end, he has Lawson Albright for a first down. So much unpredictability that we're going to see over the next 4 quarters. Here's a 17-yard pop for Albright out to the -45 for Northwestern. And here's the first carry of the night for Preckle, and he's chopped down by Matthew Bailey.
On that stretch play.
Northwestern using him out of the pistol, and this is more Preckle's game downhill against this Northwestern offense. Short-handed without Hyman, their lead back tonight. And it's Preckle, and he is swallowed up. Herb Neal stands tall to get Illinois a third down stand. Just past midfield. It's a 4th and 1. And Preckle to the outside, and he slips through the tackle for a first down. And he's got more. Preckle stays in there after the 11-yard gain on 4th and 1. Stone stands tall and rips it out to Preckle, and he is planted right after the catch. Stopped it right at the point of contact. And Griffin Wilde, the motion man. And they flip it out to the top receiver for the Wildcats, and he has nowhere to go. And Scott hopes to be back for the bowl game. Third down for Preston Stone and Northwestern. Preckle reverses field through another Bailey tackle, but a herd led by Torrey Cox on the edge for Northwestern. Now a 4th and 3 for the Wildcats. A hard count. Jacas almost bit. Now he's on the rush, and it's complete underneath Hunter Welsing, the top receiving tight end, playing in their first snow games ever. Here's the Dallas native Stone, letting it fly to the back shoulder, and it's broken up.
Of Illinois.
13th play of the drive right here. It's a handoff for Preckle through the wash, and then he gets belted by Bailey. We've seen 2 go for it on 4th down, so maybe 2 plays to get 5 for the Wildcats. And Preckle bouncing it, trying to outrun Bailey, and he will not. Bailey the first to lasso him, and it's 4th down again for Northwestern. And trying to give Northwestern the first points of this hat game, and his kick is good. This was the scene as we were showing up today. The snow would not stop. It's the most snow in any game in the stadium's history, going back to 1923. A 15-play drive led to a 3-0 lead for Northwestern on the field goal. And a little nervy from Valentine on the catch. And then he got blasted at the end of that return. No fans allowed over there, by the way. That's the east side.
Those are my people. That's my fan club right there on the east side.
It is not. You have at least one up here, I can promise you that.
Maybe taking a shot, a double move if you love it.
There is a run, and that should bring it into the quarter. It was the first carry of the night for Aiden Loffery. Sure do. 5 ties in the series overall is a run bust for a first down for Illinois. Back-to-back runs. Fitzgerald fits the run hard. It was Loffery for a first down, and Hank Beatty, the top target for Altmaier with his first catch and spinning through the snow.
And on the ground.
It's been a breakout season for Beatty. This is his senior night. He brought Illinois close to a first down. Altmaier extends the play, and a leaping grab is made.
Both teams, Northwestern can get on these safeties with how they play in the base. The double move is a staple when the conditions kind of favor the offense.
We saw it.
And now you make it a strong side right there with that shift. That's what Coach Lenny was talking about.
Set up a screen for Beatty. He looks to throw. He's got a wide open receiver. First and goal, Illini. Beatty to Arkin. And he got Arkin for 28 to set up first and goal. In the belly of Valentine, who bounces it for the first touchdown of the day for Illinois. Which you brought up a little bit earlier, kind of counterintuitive. With, you think the 255-pound guy would be the one with Feagin, but
they're reacting, that Northwestern defense, to the backward pass to Beatty, beautifully designed, and even big athlete part of that is showing up tonight.
In his belly on the first play of the drive, and he hits it up the hash.
Holding. Defense number 92. 10-yard penalty added to the undefended run.
Usually one time a game that gets called is against these stretch teams trying to not let the O-line get up to the backers.
Stone rolls it out, lets it fire to the sideline for Wilde, and he makes a hands catch for a first down. 45-mile-an-hour winds.
So he's like, this is
nothing. This is spring break. There's Preckle, and driving a pile forward.
Substitute group on.
All of the front three for Illinois got out there late, and the flag is out as Wilde has it.
Illegal substitution, more than 11 players, defense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
9-minute mark of this second quarter. Northwestern on a 15-play drive last time kicked a field goal. And Stone lets it rip, and a foot is down with the catch.
As we talked about, 6'4", a big target.
A little trouble with that snap for Stone, but he gets it out clean to Wilde. And that could have been going backwards for a big loss if Stone doesn't make the catch. Out of the pistol, it's Preckle. With the drive moving downhill for the Wildcats, and he is popped. Jacas and Bailey bring up third down. Stone on a 3rd and 5. He punts. He lets it rip to the sideline again for Wilde. It is Ryan Bowe at quarterback. The running quarterback throws it and through the hands of Wilde.
And I would probably do the same thing if I had Alec Bryant coming in my face.
Ineligible receiver downfield, offense number 72. 5-yard penalty, second down. Correction, first down.
This left tackle is...
Now all options available with Stone. Has a clean pocket, and to the sideline with the hat out. Elegon has 6 inches on Torrey Cox. And Preckle drives ahead. And it's Preston Stone. He fires back in the end zone to an open man. Hayden Elegon. Snow Angel time for the Wildcats.
Pass complete.
And I can't say enough about that throw from Preston Stone, dead into the teeth of that wind.
Yes, yes, yes.
For safety, and everybody is partying on the near side, opposite of the campus. So there are fans here, just in case you're wondering. This is Cleo Valentine, who scored the touchdown for Illinois last drive, and he plunges ahead, even on a night where he expected it to be heavy on the run. This is a fake of the run for Altmaier, and he lets lets it go down the field and incomplete.
You know, and without the wind, with the wind, is much more difficult. You can drive it into the wind with that pure spiral.
Hank Beatty, the top receiver for Altmaier, bottom side in the slot.
3 men.
And with that protection, it's another seed from Altmaier. Enough for the first for Clements. It's Kaden Feagin, and Carmine Bastone got a piece of him. Fitzgerald joins the party, and it's a gain of 2 for Feagin. Interior guys letting it fly. Second down and 8. Play fake for Altmaier. And he steps up and runs. And Altmaier is curled under, a couple yards short after Mac Uline got to him. Third down. Altmaier pulls it, and Fitzgerald wraps him up. He apparently says hasta la vista to the drive. Illinois will punt. And Crimmins gets away one that's got too much wind behind it.
Plus the 2-minute timeout. Northwestern getting the ball back in the second half, looking to double up.
Preckle with the stiff arm and ahead for 5 yards.
Field general type dudes, and he's coached by one in defensive coordinator Aaron Henry.
That's a second down for Bailey in the Illini defense, and Preckle driving ahead. And he's got a first down for Northwestern. A 6-yard pickup for Preckle, who has taken the lead back role from Joseph Hyman after he went out early.
Yeah, took Kreutz for a ride there with Rosiek out. Got pointed north.
Stone to pass on first down. And he dumps it down and incomplete. You're real happy to hear that. Barna, just a sophomore out of Wheaton. And Stone protected this time and lets it get tipped. And was it held on to by Cox? Yes, it was.
Football gods with the bad bounce. Kreutz, great stretch. You see the safety's eyes up. Well done.
Well, Altmaier with a quick set. Well, this is the good wind field, too, for them. Wind at their back. He's out of trouble, and Valentine.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 15.
So tack it on, first down for the Illini. Altmaier steps, and through the tackle of Bastone, and through the brush tackle, and he weaves his way ahead for a first down. The escapability of Altmaier, even lost his shoe.
Might use a timeout.
But not quite first and goal. It's a 1st and 10, and Valentine turns the legs. He gets a push. So first down and goal for the Illini with the big bodies in there on both sides. And it's Feagin over the top. Touchdown Illini. It's something the Illini have been waiting for weeks. And they finally get one, turn it into a 4-play, 48-yard touchdown. I want to know how that changes the acoustics.
We're concerned with the lips.
With the wind in their face. They will get the ball at halftime. Preckle is carried ahead. Give him 6 or 7 on that first down pickup.
Touchdown.
Well, the Gator was out there, the snowplow was out there, and it looks like a brand new field as we start the second half.
And starting with drive 1 here for Northwestern.
1 half to decide who gets the hat trophy in the land of Lincoln rivalry, and it's Robbie Preckle.
Big athlete tight end, making the most of this opportunity.
And he is smacked in the backfield. He brings up third down. Rush off the edge, a little chip on Jacas, and Stone through the arms of Hayden Eligon as far as getting hang time on his punts. Hank Beatty does have a punt return touchdown this year. He's back for the Illini, and he's pointing as the ball skips up. And Fitzgerald is there to count it inside the 30 for Northwest. 28.5 pounds of glory to the winner tonight, and into the second level on the first play from scrimmage. 20-yard pickup back in the hands of Valentine.
A ton of respect between these two, but they want to win the trophy. No mistake.
Valentine hopping through as he takes Flakes for a ride. Just the 4th time since the 50s they've played this game with both teams full eligible. Altmaier with a flag down, it's complete. A big spinning hit that Lawfery spun out of. Orion Day, he smacked him. There is a flag down back by the quarterback.
Offense number 58. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Getting it on.
First down and 20 on the Priestley hold from right tackle. Drop play. And Northwestern is there after
Everything is live.
no sacks allowed by that front after 5 sacks last week. And Altmaier running for his life on many more. He's protected here and gets away a clean ball for a first down. Altmaier's gone 7 of 9 over 100 yards after that first down to Dixon. It's a reverse. It's another flip back to Altmaier, and he loses the ball. Ball is free, and Northwestern can't secure it as it's slapped out of bounds. Beatty slapped it out to save it for Northwestern, for Illinois, before Northwestern could get there.
Out of bounds in second.
As referee Chris Coit just said, the key there is backwards. So there is no illegal batting situation. They set themselves up in business on the doorstep with that earlier trick play. This one, not so much.
35 yards to get. And into the flat. Beatty makes the catch.
3rd and long. Great job that time by BT.
Run to 45 on 3rd and 28. Altmaier over the middle to Feagin. And he slips through one, but a surge comes to get him. Still very, very short of the sticks. Career long's 50, so he has hit from this range before. And for a 7-point lead for the Illini, Olano sticks it. Okay, all right, those standings, pivot here, are brought to you by Discover. Don't forget to turn into the Big Ten Championship.
Julian Sand managed through that early mistake. And a huge win in the game.
Can't wait for that next weekend on Fox as Stone is hit from the blind side. Gabe Jacas, one of the best in Illinois history, gets home.
He told D. Corday, Aaron Henry, hey, I want Caleb Tiernan. He's their best guy. Line me up. There's their left tackle. He fits up outside, and Jacas just sheds him. That is literally a lookout block type of situation. Gets so fast. Gabe Jacas making Paula Henry, his mom, proud.
His mom is a nurse in the psych ward at a jail in Florida and has watched a lot of the games in his career from there. But she's here tonight for his senior night. A sack for Paula, brings up 2nd down. And into top coverage, that's knocked away. Matthew Bailey bats it away from Elegon.
Elegon and the entire sideline going crazy. Preston Stone has to redirect, so it's a little bit late, and you'll see it look to me like this was contact early. That's fine. Juice Clark, that coming through the back of his head, that is pass interference.
Flag stayed in pocket, 3rd and 17 instead. Northwestern in this game on 3rd down, 2 of 6. They have gone for it on 4th down, but that was in plus territory both times. Backed up on 3rd and 17. Stone retreating. Jacas in his face again. He got away and throws it away. Jacas nearly for the 2nd time on the series sacked Stone. Instead, 4th down and 17.
This dude is something, man. Great rush pattern this time. Started that same alignment out here on Tiernan. He's out here. Watch him come all the way inside. Speed, power, getting to the quarterback. Great twist game. Oh, that is a quarterback nightmare.
You know, Mark, there's only one guy in Illinois history with more sacks, and that guy won a Super Bowl. Simeon Rice with the Bucs. He came out of Illinois. He's the all-time sack leader. Jacas is next. Beatty, a couple of moves, and he is slammed down.
Needs to get back in field goal range.
And now looking for a 2-score lead. And Fitzgerald up to hit Lawfery, but that foul's moving forward. And Henderson from right guard following the play gave him a little push. 8 yards.
Just love how Fitzgerald plays, man. And take a look at this Illinois skill group. Cleo Valentine taking the most, getting the lion's share tonight and making the most of it.
Yeah, there hasn't been a Chase Brown since Chase Brown at Illinois. quite honestly, there hasn't been a Chase Brown with that type of load in college football for a little while. Led the country in touches for Illinois at running back further on to the Bengals. It's been three-man committee. It's Lawfrey again. And he hops through the tackle and plunges ahead. First down. So it's Lawfrey, it's Feagin, and Valentine leading the rush for Illinois. First down.
Good cutback right here by Valentine. Brent, I think that is Braden Turner to the right who's going to show up. You're going to see 9 right here. Just miss. Keep his eyes up. Throws a strikeout. Back line finishes.
Well, this mark is a race to 150 rush yards tonight. When Northwestern gives up less than that, they win. When Illinois gets more than 150 on the ground, they win. 112 right now for the Illini. Right in that range. It's Lawfrey to the edge. Trying to outrun Fussell, who shoves him out. Lawfrey wheeling around after it was stopped up inside. Makes it second down and manageable.
Really nice job by Lawfrey that time, bouncing it, getting the edge collapse down. Northwestern last containing the one guy remaining is that man, Josh Fussell, who's going to be a great player in the long term, both at this level and the next.
Remember what they told him, or told us that they call him? The Glove. It's a good nickname of how good he is in coverage. Second down and 5 after Fussell forced out Lawfrey. It's Lawfrey again, and he was grabbed around the ankles by Migo Jackson. No gain on that play as Jackson comes up with a good stop up the middle.
Yeah, that time Migo dented it. In for Flakes, Bastone, rotating guys inside there. Just an urgency, totally different urgency that time to set the front and back from Illinois by that Northwestern front, getting that second level involved. Fussell was across the line of scrimmage that time. Getting to it, what does that open up? Play action pass.
Third downs tonight for Illinois, they're 2 of 5. They did go for a 4th down on their opening drive. Right in that area where you might think about it.
Showing this double mud look, both linebackers up in the A gaps.
And they were both coming for the delay.
Delay again. Offense, 5-yard penalty.
And a little different look from Northwestern defensively after the delay. They still bring Bruss up the middle. And Turner coming off the edge also. And almost got there before Altmaier chucked it. So a delay penalty and then running for his life again brings up 4th down for Altmaier.
Tim Garago goes so much of that drop 8 stuff. I'm bringing the house. You're going to see 9 come in here on 9. Altmaier sees him. He knows that's the extra guy. He outnumbers the protection. He's going to just peek, take a look, and a good throwaway. All legal there. Outside the tackle box, back beyond line of scrimmage. Really, again, a veteran play by Luke Altmaier.
Griffin Wilde back for this return for Northwestern. Not their normal punt returner. He has been instructed fair catch all night. And won't have a chance at this one as it's another touchback. Almost planted inside the 5.
Hoping for that to come alive. They're still going into the wind. I'm guessing that's maybe why they've taken less chances and trying to crank things on the ground. Again, with their 4th running back, Robbie Breckle.
Well, that's the thing, right? If Northwestern can get this in a 1-score game to the 4th with the wind at their back, got to feel good about their chances.
Yeah, it appears like that's the direction they want to go, and again, it's so hard in these conditions. We've gone from snow in the first half, 10 inches all day long, cleared off, and coming and going in the entire first half. Now, kind of a freezing rain, but still a windy situation at quarterback. You got to take care of the rock, number 1, and Preston Stone's got to pick his spots.
Stone to the sideline for Wilde, a sliding catch to the wide side of the field.
Exactly, the wide field speed cuts to Griffin Wilde, his guy. You'd say the test, man, you just spoke that into existence. Great strike just in front of Torrey Cox. Really nice job by Wilde, ensuring it, going down and getting underneath it. Letting it get into his chest. That's a confident play by a confident player.
Well, Wilde is top 5 in the Big Ten in receptions. First Wildcat since Austin Carr in 2016. He moves the chains. Now Breckle is off tackle again. That first down was Northwestern's first down since halftime. It's Illinois defense that was beat up last week at Wisconsin. Back-to-back 3-and-outs before that wide field throw for Stone.
See defensive cover Aaron Henry here getting his nickel group in the game, trying to get a pass rush group going from really, they bring in a forward down look, a conventional look. Now they shift it over back to their, what they normally do is cover the center, play a Bear-esque defense, bring it 5.
And nobody got close to Stone, and a twisting try by Wilde is incomplete with a flag out. Tied up with Torrey Cox, and the size of Wilde is a matchup that Northwestern likes.
Pass interference, defense number 5, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So 6'2" on 5'9" there, and Cox just what the official sees is that hand outside, and I get why Preston Stone's doing the fist pump. I get why Brett Bielema doesn't like it. Not really a grab and restrict. Wilde doesn't plant and go back up and create it. But those hands outside the frame like that, where that official is, if that kind of just invites that call. So we talk about with that guy, just patience and hand placement by Cox. Tough.
Cox undersized, but it's battled all night. Pass breakup before that penalty. And Preckle ahead for 3. And the clock winding. Northwestern will not have to snap this ball before the 4th.
Yeah, this will show.
Because I'm a people pleaser. You can't always beat that as a head coach. We set the tone after that Michigan loss by a field goal. Stone ran out of trouble, and now he throws back across, and a sliding catch for a first down for Elegon.
It is that. It's a line, and everybody's different. Everybody's a person, but the key to it all is, hey, this is a tough, gritty, defense-first program, and we're going to win football games. We're going to win championships. It's not a participation trophy.
Oh, Stone threw it to the sideline.
No. From behind, it looks like the ball is out. From this angle, it looks like the knee might be down. And again,
after review, the quarterback's knee was down prior to the pass at the 40-45-yard line, where it'll be second down.
For Preston Stone, you just got to
gives him 9 on the year, tied for the Big Ten lead entering this week. He did have the pick in the first half, but wiped that one off. And he survives to 2nd and 17. And Stone using his legs. The ball comes out, and Illinois had it squirt between legs, and it looked like Northwestern got it on the bottom of the pile. Frank Covey followed it up. Heckle was dangerously close to another takeaway.
Football gods bouncing their way here.
First down and second down, near disaster for Northwestern. On 3rd down, it comes up Northwestern. 100 yards last week, 4th catch of the night for a first down. Preckle grinding inside the red zone. He threw on his first snap of the game, down in the red zone of the first half. He's their running quarterback, and he does what he does best. And into the wash. 3rd down and 4 early in this 4th quarter. Stone back in there at quarterback. He's running out of time. He throws into tight coverage, and right at the sticks, Elegon reels it in. Oh, the snap is fumbled on 4th down. Stone did not get there.
Here's Elegon. They're trying to throw it to Preckle here. Elegon is on the shallow cross from the other side, and Illinois zones it off. They zone it off. A ton of man. You see the chase from Torrey Cox Jr., and I thought that was a good spot. We thought that was a good spot. Just short of the line today.
Valentine is cleaned up by Fitzgerald.
From a Northwestern standpoint.
Illinois will try to add to their lead, and Turner knocks it away. And they are packed in below us. Those are the boos you heard. So a 3rd down for Altmaier. He runs out of trouble. Kilpatrick, he loses the ball. Who's got it? It's free. Northwestern has it. Northwestern plunging toward the end zone. Now they're looking for a tie, 1st and goal. Preckle is destroyed. Dylan Rosiak. Preckle stays in there, sidecar this time. It's a fake to him. Welsing sprinting out to the flat. Stone throws it his way, and he's got nothing there. close to the midway point of this fourth quarter. Third down and goal for Preston Stone. He rips it incomplete. Miles Scott had visions of going the other way with it, did just enough to knock it away.
Fourth down, this is as an offensive player. This is a time you can reach the ball. They're taking it down to 1 second.
Timeout.
And they took the delay, so that means they are going to kick a field goal.
True try at it, and Olsen puts it through.
That's one that, you know, I certainly get why he wants the points. And counting on his defense again in these conditions to pester Luke Altmaier again.
Rosiak, who made the big play for Illinois, he's a holdover from Lovie Smith, the head coach before Brett Bielema. There are 3 guys. You'll see 2 of them coming on the field here. Josh Kreutz at center, Josh Geske at left guard, and then Rosiak, who stayed because Brett Bielema pitched him on staying and having a big role as seniors, and here they are on senior night.
Yeah, that's one thing that it's tough about the conditions tonight. Basically shut down the state of Illinois in terms of transportation, the full senior night, the full celebration of these guys, their parents, their family. Too bad we didn't get to see that on full display.
Kaden Feagin right into the heart of Northwestern's front, and it is a wrestling match down there.
Scrum, Northwestern known for field hockey, a little rugby scrum right there. And you know Rob Fitzgerald's just going to be trying to strip every action he can.
Saying a penalty corner should be coming up for the field hockey fans. Tracy Fuchs and Northwestern back-to-back field hockey titles. They won their second this week. Inside 7.5 minutes, halfway gone in this fourth quarter. Illinois trying to keep the hat, the trophy right here in Champaign. Northwestern, after trailing at half, trying to come back to bring it back to Evanston. On second down, Altmaier ran out of time. Brush flew past him. Altmaier extends, running away from Uline, who shoves him out shy of the first down. 4 yards there for Altmaier, 3rd and 3, after he got shoved into the sideline.
Yeah, Mac Uline on the case. Altmaier showing his speed right there. And Uline did a great job in his spiral, essentially right there. Man coverage behind it, matched the routes going over the top. Luke Altmaier had nothing, had to bring it down and do the DIY check down, do it himself.
Usually hear an angry run for running backs. That was an angry run from Uline.
He doesn't really run happily.
No, he never does. 3rd down and 3. Altmaier, quick pop, and almost intercepted by Garner Wallace. Hudson Clement was the closest guy, and Altmaier avoids Wallace going the other way.
Yeah, Garner Wallace has eyes on his key. He was in that number 3 vertical route. And if you would have been looking at the quarterback, that would have hit him in the face virtually. And we'll see if they give any kind of a green light here for Griffin Wilde punting into the wind right here for Illinois.
I remember it was a red light at the start of the game. He's not their normal punt returner. He's been told to fair catch everything, and he does. Remember Stafford having an MVP season.
We're good. It's a 6-man box, a light box. Going to run right into it.
Freckles stretched it to the edge. He's one-on-one with Bailey, and Bailey wins most of those. He was right, just not under the circumstances he wanted. 22 carries for 82 yards. For the tight end turned running back, Freckles. Stone buzzes it over to Welsing, and he's dragged down short of the first down. Last time down on a 4th down for Northwestern. This time they get the spot. And Freckle submerged under after a yard. This will be stopped.
Prior to the snap, Illinois called timeout to challenge the ruling on the field of a first down. The previous play is under review.
He's on the bottom left of the screen. Here's the throw. And that, you know, that's a tough look. I could see that going really.
The ruling of the runner making a first down is upheld. Illinois is charged his first time out and may not challenge for the remainder of the game. Please reset the game clock to 5 minutes, 29 seconds.
it will be Preckle behind Stone again. On a career night, 83 yards rushing. And calling on their 4th or 5th string, depending on how you're looking at running back. And Stone over the middle. The other way it goes. Another takeaway for Illinois. It's Miles Scott. A senior day pick for Scott to set up Illinois inside the red zone. So now Northwestern's defense will try to make a stand, hold to a field goal in a 1-score game. Illinois thinking 2-score lead. As Lafferty spins into trouble. And the best interior run defender, Carmine Bastone, hit him for a loss of 3.
He knows it's time to make a play. Got to rise up here, come to the defense and save the quarterback here. And put his defense in a bad situation. Preston Stone's just got to hope and pray that he gets another shot. As you said, that's the story in most games, and certainly this Northwestern team playing through the defense as they do. You lose that turnover battle like that, usually end up on the incorrect side of the ledger.
Northwestern will try to defy the odds. They have not won a game where Stone has multiple turnovers this season. He has 3 tonight. Altmaier trying to turn it into points. He has an open Lafferty, who dances his way inside the 10. He is short of the first, so 3rd down and 2 as the clock drips down close to 4 minutes.
Really well designed that time by offensive coordinator Barry Lunny. A clear out, had 2 vertical routes clearing out multiple defenders. Northwestern, they're playing basically Tampa 2 there. So U-line's out of there. You get all those linebackers running with the vertical routes and dump the screen in behind it. Very well done.
Illinois has missed on their last 5 third downs. 0 for their last 5 on third downs. 2 for 8 on the night. A 3rd and 2. This Lafferty snowed under.
For their last 6.
They're 0 for their last 6. It's a 4th down and short. Are you thinking
Points?
Yeah, that's what Brett Bielema's thinking. I don't know if they were thinking knockout blow or points. They'll play for the 7-point lead.
Hayden Fry, Kirk Ferentz, Barry Alvarez all approve of this decision. The son of a ton of great coaches. Brett Bielema.
This is 27 for Olano, hit from 47 and tougher conditions earlier. This is wind in the face, so not your typical 27-yard field goal. For a 7-point lead, Olano comes up here again.
Playing a small part in that. That is awesome.
And the Scott interception leads to a short kick into the wind, and Preckle lets it go out of bounds.
Smart.
Flag comes out. Good field position for the Wildcats.
That was a smart play by a Northwestern player.
Kicking team number 24. The ball will be placed in the 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10.
But they got to earn it.
On the 35. He has it complete to Welsing, who stopped by Hood. And a pickup of 5. Start the drive for the Wildcats.
Just an over the ball route. Nice throw, catch, and finish really good. Both sides again. Hood, man, physical.
You wonder where the psyche is for Preston Stone. The 3 turnovers tonight. Can he flush it quickly? A completion on 1st down and almost another turnover. Juice Clark that close to going the other way.
Yep, and that's exactly that face he just made. You got to get this ball outside if you're Preston Stone. They outnumbered him in the rush. He knew he had to get rid of it, and it's a great job. Hayden Eleganci had a PBU for that. He knows he got away with another one. But now Preston Stone, press clear, play the next play.
Exactly what he did at halftime last week. His best passing numbers as a Wildcat.
No pressure. Looks like they're going to breath out of it, though.
Alec Bryant is coming. A couple of backers drop out, and he buzzes it in. 1st down and a good response from Stone. It's Hayden Elegan who saved it on the last play. He saves this drive on a 1st down.
So good, man. Again, just props to Preston Stone right here. Under pressure, throws a strike right back to that man who saved his bacon on the last play.
See if they get one more snap off. They do before the 2-minute timeout. They chip Jacas. He's still in pursuit. Flag is out. Looked like Bryant got held.
You are correct.
He was up at the top side.
Cheating on the right tackle.
Yep. He was matched up with Martez
Holding.
Lewis.
Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, first down.
You take that one.
Needing a touchdown, extra point to tie. Now backed up, and that's tipped, and that is picked. It's that man again, Miles Scott. Second time in as many drives. What a curtain call in his final game at Memorial Stadium. Another thing David Braun kept coming back to this quarterback is winner. He got him postseason eligibility. Tonight in this regular season finale, with one more to come in the bowl game. There's the first time out for Northwestern.
Full of trophies. Trying to recreate that here in Champaign. And whatever ounce of motivation you need to get going as again, Northwestern fighting for every inch.
Kilbane set the edge. Najee Story in his final season at Northwestern. Looking for one last timeout. We're out for 30 seconds. Motions Arkin back into the mix. It is a quarterback run. And he probes before Story and Bruss knock him off his pins in the final timeout for Northwestern.
Is that Worthy back?
It is.
Sideways, yep. Worthy's back there, so maybe they'll give him a green light. Probably set up some sort of max rush. And at least put pressure mentally here on the punter, if not physically.
Big goal for Illinois is to clean up their special teams after last week. And Germans gets it off cleanly. Wilde does not let it bounce in front of him, and it's a touchback. Remember the word last week was fearless. When he had his best passing game of the season. He erased some of that fear after the turnover issues. And that floats outside, incomplete. Heckel had tight coverage on Carson Grove.
Why? Gabe Jacas. Gabe Jacas again lined up. Caleb Tiernan. Watch this matchup. They try to get a chip with a tight end. The back is to the same side. He does a little whoop, whoop, a little swim shed and says, Preston, I'll be back.
We're giving him the Terminator label now?
There you go. There's Jacas. Bryant up top.
Jacas twists inside. Stone away cleanly. Scott got hands on it again. Almost a third straight drive with a pick for Miles Scott.
Hands in the cookie jar. Preston Stone must have been really good at that because he is living dangerously right here. Knowing the safeties, that's what they do in this defense. In these situations, rush for and sit on these routes. Miles Scott going, man, I used to be a receiver, and that's hard, right?
He caught the other two. He could have 4 tonight. He had the one on the goal line that was almost 100 the other way.
We're down territory here.
They're down in 10. Stone flutters one. Elegant traffic catch with pressure in Stone's face. And the game and the drive continue.
Clock stops. To move the chains when it's reset, they'll restart it. Preston Stone, impressive. 4-man rush and an adder got to his spot and struck.
It was a 20-yard hit. Now that clock winds, approaching a minute. Jacas picked up, Stone given time. Elegant juggling grab. A revelation the last couple of weeks, especially on this drive. Hayden Elegant just put one on their head.
3-man rush. Preston Stone, a little fadeaway jumper to an absolutely perfect location. And Cox going, man, that was some pretty good coverage. Elegant, go up and get it.
The height of Elegant at 6'4" over the 5'9" Cox. And back-to-back plays of 20 and 16 for Elegant. Have him a yard away from back-to-back 100-yard games.
Need to get a guy on the ball up top. There it goes.
Clark follows Wilde. Stone stuttering the feet, ran into his own man. He's out the other side. Looking for guys, running with them, into tight space again. Wilde almost caught it. The clock stops, 53 seconds to go, 2nd and 10.
Another little football gods moment here. Runs up really into the line of scrimmage. I don't know how to get the other side. And then, of course, throws a perfectly back shoulder dime to Wilde. And Wilde is going, how did I not make that catch? That's all I do. Wow. Preston Stone, I don't know how you put the ball in that location.
Yep.
Oh.
On the move, too. 53 seconds to go, 2nd and 10. A trophy awaits the winner over the next 53 seconds.
And he's up top in the slot.
Stone given time off Wilde's hands. An in-breaking route with Clark in trail position.
Yeah, that one might have been deflected up front. A little option route, and Wilde smokes him. Let's take a look. Yep.
Ismail Conte got a piece of it.
Yep, Conte the tip, because Wilde won as an option route. A little walk-off snap slant late, and he was clean.
Wilde leads the Big Ten in 3rd down receptions. That is the guy, no matter the down, he usually looks to. Wilde goes to him top side again. Looking Elegon's way, now over the middle, he floats one with nobody home. So the game comes down to a 4th and 10 inside midfield.
They doubled Willie up top, just as you said they would and might. Had to force the ball inside. That time to Grove, and a really good, just we know where you're trying to throw the ball, make your 3rd, 4th, 5th option be the winner. Well done. See what they do. They keep mugging up the center. It's been Kreutz, who's now down in a 3-point stance.
4th down with the rivalry trophy on the line. Here it is for Stone. Needs 10 yards to keep it going. Running out of time. Throwing downfield, incomplete. And the hat will stay in Champaign. For now, he just clinched the hat, unless something crazy happens on this snap. And Altmaier puts a knee in it. And that'll do it. Illinois to 8 wins in back-to-back rivalry wins over Northwestern. Well, that word respect kept getting thrown around, the 2 head coaches together, and recruit against each other, playing this rivalry game against each other, but it's Brett Bielema twice now, back-to-back years, winning the hat for his side.
Yep, just made more plays defensively. That man right there, Miles Scott, well deserved.